Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Stephanie's Laralyn. I'm Stephanie. This video is going to be a video where I read TikTok recommendations or BOOKTok recommendations, and it's going to be kind of like a reading vlog. So I've picked out 3 books that I want to read. I've already started one. The one I've already started is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahern, I think is how you say her name. And I'm like just about 100 pages through that now, so I don't have much thoughts, but later on when I read more of it, I will update you more. Then the other book I have to read is one I have physically. It's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Then the last book I have is Kingdom of the Wicked by Harry Manasalco, I think. That's the books I'll be reading in this video. I obviously have really high hopes for all of them. I have read a few TikTok recommendations before. I've read The Song of Achilles because of BOOKTok, and I've also tried to read a few others, but I have DNF'd quite a few, so I don't know whether it'll be good or bad, whether I like them or not. I will come back and update you when I'm further into Serpent and Dove, and then continue as I go along reading these books. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in a bit. I hope you can hear the rain. It's raining right now, so it's great cozy vibes for reading. And also I got this the other day and I'm living in it. I'm never taking it off. But a little update on my reading for Serpent and Dove. I'm 44% of the way through, so I'm on page 214 in the ebook. I don't think I've explained what this book is about, so I'm going to explain it briefly. I don't really read blurbs as well most of the time for books that are hyped. A lot of the time lately I'll just pick up a book that I recognise from either BookTube or Bookstagram or TikTok or whatever. So I don't really actually read the blurbs on the back. From what I can gather, it's a fantasy book, a first book in a series. It's set in a world where there's witches and people who are witch hunters, essentially. And it's also set in France, I think, because they speak a lot of French that I don't understand and like use a lot of French sayings and titles and stuff. So I think it's in France, I'm not sure. And also it's kind of like a fantasy that's set in, I think, around the 18th century, you know, all the women wear corsets and stuff like that, and you know, it's all about women having to obey their husbands, which, you know, puke. But anyways, that's around the time it's set, and it follows our 2 main characters. It switches point of views between Lou and Reed. Lou is a witch and she's kind of like undercover and trying not to get found out, and Reed is actually a witch hunter, which is called a chasseur. I think it's chasseur. I looked up how to pronounce it, but I'm obviously butchering it because I can't speak French. And they basically end up having to get married. For being 44% of the way through, I'm not loving it, I won't lie. I don't adore it like I thought I would, but I do find the actual magic interesting because I just love witches and different types of magic, witch magic especially. I don't really care about Reed that much, the male character. He's a bit annoying, but like I understand he's kind of stuck in his views. I really love Lou as a character. She is funny. She's a bad bitch and I do like her. The only thing I will say as well is I feel like it's a bit off in timing. Like it's not exactly insta-lovey because obviously it's enemies to lovers, so they still kind of hate each other. But at the start, one thing that I just thought was really weird and just it really like stood out as odd to me is straight away after they get married, they're like straight away referring to each other in their minds as my husband, my wife, instead of by their name, which I just find like, I don't know if that's just me, but I just find it a bit odd, like it's a bit weird. Yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to say, but I'm hoping it gets better. And I think it will, to be honest, because everyone, like a lot of people rave about this series. Also, another random thing, which is just me being an idiot, are we surprised? This whole time that I've been reading it, I've been imagining the main character wrong. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this in videos before, but I have a tendency of just blatantly ignoring a vivid description and detailed description of a person's appearance in a book. Just completely ignoring it. I don't know why I do it, like I really don't understand how I do it. Yeah, so I do that a lot and it's actually really annoying, especially for popular books, because I love looking at fan art. Anyways, all that to say, I started reading this book and I was in two minds whether I wanted to put Serpent and Dove on this list or From Blood and Ash. The main character of From Blood and Ash has red hair and she is, I think she's kind of short and she's like curvy, and she also has scars all over her. I imagined Lou, the main character in Serpent and Dove, to look like her. That took a bit of like maneuvering to get used to because I had to actually tell my head no. Anyways, I've been talking for literally 8 minutes and I've been talking absolute shite. I will come back to you when I'm further on into the book. Bye. Good morning everyone. It's the morning after now and it's like 12:20. I actually finished Serpent and Dove a good few hours ago now, earlier this morning, but I've been waiting for my house to be quiet, so I'm hoping it'll stay quiet right now while I'm trying to film this. But thoughts on Serpent and Dove. Not sure this video went off to a good start because I gave it 2 stars. I did like certain aspects of the story, but it just didn't give me, you know, the TikTok hype. It just didn't give me the vibes I was expecting, you know. Things I did love about it was I really liked Lou's personality. I thought she was really funny and a really great character. I enjoyed the magic system. I thought it was really interesting, and like I said earlier, I just love witches and blood magic and stuff like that. It was really weirdly paced, I think, and also it felt very insta-lovey. I said that at the start as well. I just think it was supposed to be a type of enemies to lovers thing, but that just I don't know, it was way too quick for them to fall in love. I don't know, I found it really disorienting. As well as that, like I said earlier, I just thought it was weirdly done. Their relationship between the two main characters was just, it just struck me as odd, I think. I don't know why, but it was just a bit off kilter. Oh, it felt like a YA book to me, and everything that happened was like coincidental, and it was like you could tell the author was lining things up in a way that would work for the plot line, and it was really obvious to me. I just found the plot twists to be pretty obvious. Like, I didn't guess them, but I wasn't actively looking for them either. So when they happened, I was not shocked in any way. I didn't have any reaction, like I didn't care, because I felt like it was a really obvious plot twist. Wasn't really a fan of that book, and I don't think I'm going to pick up the others. Even I'm actually quite disappointed. Hopefully the next book I read is much better. The next book I'm planning on picking up is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one I'm really hoping I'll love, because I heard about it even before it was big on BookTok, I think. This book is, not really sure actually, but I think it's about this celebrity woman who's had 7 husbands, and basically she gets interviewed by this other woman and tells her life story about being a celebrity and, you know, all the juicy goss. But I think there's a sapphic romance in this, one of the main reasons why I was drawn to it in the first place. I've seen loads of people cry from this. I've seen people just literally scream and love it, so I'm praying that I'll really like it. The other book that I had planned to read was Kingdom of the Wicked, but I'm not sure if I want to pick that up now. I think I might switch it and pick up From Blood and Ash instead, because I've heard loads about that and I keep seeing it on my Instagram and I'm just like, I want to read it right now, and it's been really hyped on BookTok as well, so we'll just have to wait and see until after I finish Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm going to start reading The Seven Husbands pretty soon, and then I will update ye if I have any thoughts. It's Saturday morning. I think it's the 7th of August, and I just wanted to do a little update on my thoughts for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I wanted to update last night when I reached page 100, but I ended up watching the new Suicide Squad with my family, and it was amazing. So good, literally phenomenal, so funny. Oh, it was great. So I didn't end up talking to you, but I'm on page 114 now, and I love this book so much. You can already tell by the tabs I have. I knew by the first, I think, 20 pages that I was just loving it, and I feel like this is going to be a 5-star, so I'm really hoping it stays that way. It's just written really well, and I am obsessed with Evelyn Hugo. She is literally an icon. Like, wow, amazing. And also just Taylor Jenkins Reid just has a really amazing ability with writing. Actually, this is the first book I've read from her, and she just writes in an extremely raw and honest way, and it's like these characters have faults and they do things that aren't morally righteous, and she's honest about that. You know, like, she tells you straight out, there's no sugarcoating it, and I just think it's phenomenal. I love it. And oh, this story, I'm so excited to find out more about Evelyn Hugo, even though I feel like I'm after finding out so much about her already. It's like really giving me insight to what celebrities' lives are like. I've kind of been aware for the past few years that obviously celebrities are human and everything, and they're going to have faults. And I've also been aware of how media can be really judgmental and spin lies, and that Hollywood and all that kind of stuff is loads of it's false, loads of it's just not true. This stuff that Evelyn Hugo has done so far and has had to go through as well is just crazy to read about. I also just love the format in which this is written. Like, I annotated one part at the very start, and it was an article written in 2017, and there was comments on it and everything, and I just think it was so well written. Like, it was perfect. It felt like it was real. It felt like I was on Twitter or something reading the comments on an article about like a pop star. It felt really genuine. Obviously it's based off of celebrities and stuff, so it has a bit of truth to it. I'm sure there's a bunch of celebrities that have gone through this kind of stuff. It's just really amazing to read about and really, really interesting, and and I love Evelyn Hugo, and I can't wait to find out more about Celia. Oh wow, amazing, love it. Yeah, this book is phenomenal, so I'm really excited to keep reading. I might update you when I'm halfway through, or maybe when I'm almost finished, because I'm almost halfway through now. I'll see, and if I have any thoughts before then, I will obviously come and tell you all. But so far this is feeling like a 5-star for me, and I'm really happy about it. I love Evelyn Hugo. Hi everyone, it's Sunday, and I just wanted to do a quick little update because I'm almost finished The Seven Husbands. I have literally only this little bit left, and I'm so excited to finish it. I love it so much, but I just wanted to kind of update here now because I know shit's about to go down and everything is gonna go wrong, and I'm really scared. It's still a 5-star, and it's probably gonna stay a 5-star. And also I'm expecting to cry because loads of people have said they've cried. I have gotten the urge to cry during some scenes in this. I'm really excited to find out what's gonna happen and how everything's gonna tie up with the actual journalist Monique. Hopefully the next clip is either me finishing it or me crying, because that would be some good content. See you when I'm heartbroken. I just finished this. This is one of the most beautiful stories I think I've ever read in my entire life. I need to collect myself. It was absolutely phenomenal and just so raw and heartfelt and honest. It was literally just so incredibly, unforgivingly honest. I am so happy I picked this book up, and I'm actually in love with it so much, and I want everyone to read it right now. I'm literally tearing up even thinking about it. Taylor Jenkins Reid, like I was saying earlier, just is a magnificent writer. She is insane at writing. She's just so good. She writes in a way that makes you completely empathize with her characters, but also recognize and understand their flaws, and she writes
extremely human characters, and she doesn't shy away from the things that authors wouldn't usually write about and wouldn't usually admit. She wants you to know that these characters are real, and she's not about to sugarcoat anything about them. And I just think this story was so impactful. It taught me so much about self-worth, self-acceptance, and also getting what you want from life, but also just love. It taught me so much about love and the different types of love. I've never been in love, but it made me feel like I was falling in love. It was so interesting to understand and learn about the different types of love there can be and unconventional love. It's obviously a lot about other people's views on you, so judgments from other people and what other people's opinions do to you and your life. Like I said earlier as well, I love Evelyn Hugo with my whole heart. She's such a bad bitch, and she's so unapologetically herself, and she's not going to apologize for doing what she wants to get what she wants, because no one else is going to do it for her. I just loved as well the way that Evelyn, but also by extension Taylor Jenkins Reid, wrote about and the discussions that were had on sexuality, and how Evelyn came to terms with her own sexuality and giving herself a label. I just related loads to it, and I just really thought it was explained in a digestible way and relatable way, and it just really encompassed what it's like to figure out yourself and who you love. I just feel like this book should actually be put in a museum. Absolutely phenomenal. I think one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. It also, like I was saying earlier, taught me a lot about celebrities. Sorry for like my snuffliness, I'm literally holding my tears here. Hopefully you're able to understand me. But I was saying a bit earlier how I was already quite aware of kind of the media and celebrities and how celebrities are portrayed in a way that is socially acceptable, and that they're not humans really. They're held as gods, like, and every single thing they do, good or bad, is under a microscope, and sometimes most of what you see is just not true. It taught me a lot about realizing that everyone is human, no matter what things you're good at, how much money you make, where you live, what you look like, what society deems as acceptable, but not even acceptable, as applaudable. And just because some people have certain things that they're good at does not mean they should be treated better. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it doesn't really, but this book really taught me a lot about a lot of things and about life. I love this so much. Obviously, if I haven't said already, 5 stars. Obviously, definitely one of the best books I've ever read in my life. And I want to read Daisy Jones and the Six right now, because I've heard so many good things about it. So 1 out of the 3 books I have loved and has been a success. I think I've decided I'm going to read From Blood and Ash next. I don't know when I'll do it. I feel like I need a bit of time to digest everything that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But I'm really excited to read From Blood and Ash, because I've heard so many good things about it, and I keep seeing it all over my Instagram, and I just want in. I'm estimating that it will be like around 5 stars. If you haven't read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, do it right now.
It's been a few days now since I finished The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I started From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, I think is the author, a few days ago too. And I'm on page, it's been a good idea to check before I start this, 285 in the ebook of From Blood and Ash. And I just wanted to update a little bit on it. Obviously 285 pages, stuff has happened, but I'm not fully halfway through it yet, so not much to talk about really. But at the start I kind of found it a bit slow and boring, but then I think around the 100-page mark it started to get a bit better, and like after characters were introduced and everything and the foundations of the world were established, it was easier to understand things. I'm really intrigued and interested in our main character Poppy's gifts, as she calls them, and also what she's going to do, because she's such a great character. I love her character, and she's so funny and just literally a bad bitch. I love her. And then Hawke's character, which is one of the other characters in the story, is so funny as well, like so funny. And Poppy and Hawke's banter is hilarious. I love it. And Hawke is just beautiful. I haven't even explained what this book is about, but I'm sure you've probably heard of it. But basically, Poppy, our main character, is the maiden, which is a chosen one by the gods, and she's kind of veiled and nobody knows what she looks like except for like 3 people in her close circle. And she lives with the Duke and Duchess of this world, where she stays and gets prepped for her ascension, which is basically, I think, something where she like ascends to the gods and then is immortal or whatever. Not really sure, it's kind of confusing. Yeah, I don't really know much else about the world. Obviously, if bits of it have been explained and stuff, but some of it's just still not really delved into yet. But yeah, so far I'm loving Poppy and Hawke together, and I just also love Poppy's different relationship dynamics with the other people in her life. I don't think I have anything else to say about it, but I'm really enjoying it and it's really fun to read. And I'm estimating that it will be a high star rating. I don't know if it'll be 5 stars yet, but right now it's at about 4 stars for me, I think. So, but I'm really interested to see how other characters tie into it that have been mentioned but haven't been at the forefront of the story yet, because I have like obviously read and heard a few bits about the series because it's so popular, so I recognize some characters' names and stuff, so I can't wait for those to be introduced to the story. But I'll update you next when I have something to say. But right now I'm just enjoying all the adventures and the great hilarious banter between Hawke and Poppy. It's just top tier. Hi, it's the next day. First off, I just want to say I'm sorry that I'm not giving loads of updates for this book. I don't know why that is, but I just don't really feel the need or have any thoughts that I want to share while I've been reading this for some reason. But I have made progress. I'm almost done. I'm on page 516, so I have about a little under 150 pages left. So I'm 79% of the way through From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I am loving it. I won't lie. It's every single time I pick it up, it's giving me so much serotonin. It's making me laugh out loud, literally scream, love it. Like I said a few seconds ago, I don't really feel like I have much thoughts that I want to share about it. I feel like I'm kind of getting a bit lost in the plot. Like some of the plot I get, and the world building and stuff, but I feel like that information won't actually hit me and I won't kind of identify certain things until I read the rest of the series. There is one thing I will say though. I have had this theory for the past, I'd say 100 pages now, that somebody in this book is not who they say they are and is actually someone else that has been referred to. So I don't know if I'm right, but like the scene I just read was quite convincing and really added to my theory. So we shall see. But that also would be like the major plot twist in this book. So I'm kind of hoping it's not, but I'm also hoping I'm right, you know? I'm going to keep reading and I will come back to you hopefully when I finish it. I want to finish it today in the next few hours. But I'm loving it so far. Like I really, really am loving it, and I'm so glad I picked it up. The romance is top tier. The comedy, top tier. Wow. So it's like a few hours later now and I just finished From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I gave it 4 stars. It really was good and I really did like it. The thing I was talking about earlier about me having a theory about someone wasn't who they said they were,
I was correct. I was literally 100% correct, which is kind of annoying, but also I'm kind of like, wow, I'm so smart. Even though in my opinion I think it was really obvious, but that was like the whole plot twist of the book. But there was one thing, like the last line of the book came out of nowhere. There was loads of shocking things happening and coming out, so that was cool. I really do want to read the next book because I actually really enjoyed it and I really had fun when I read it, so I do want to find out what happens next. Like I said earlier, I feel like I don't have much to say about this book, which is weird because I really did enjoy it, but I think I just didn't maybe take in the information as much as I usually would. I don't know why that is, but I will say, like I said before, I love the characters. They're so funny. They're really smart as well, and it was really nice to see, again, you know, just like a female character that's just so strong and brave and like cool. But one thing I did like was that Jennifer L. Armentrout made her chapters directly lead after another, which I loved, and it really kept the story on its toes and it made it feel like it was a really fast-paced book. I don't think I have anything else other than that to say. So that means that's the end of this video, and 2 out of the 3 books were like really high ratings and books that I really enjoyed. So The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was 5 stars for me. I loved that book so much and it's one of my favorite books ever now. Serpent and Dove I didn't love. I think I gave it 2 stars if I can remember correctly. I read it a few days ago now, so I don't even remember. And then of course From Blood and Ash I gave 4 stars. So I think that's successful. So in conclusion, is TikTok correct and are they trustworthy? Sometimes I think, but also sometimes not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I had loads of fun filming it and I found 2 books that I really love and a series that I want to keep reading, so that's great. I also do want to mention I did make an Amazon wish list and I'll link it in the description of this video. Obviously no pressure to send anything, but it's there, and you know, if there's any books you want me to read or to review, it's there, and that would help me out loads with my channel and I'd love to read all of your favorite books. Yeah, but that's it. So I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in my next video. Subscribe if you want.